I called the doc and said, it's just not working. I threw it away. And I just couldn't do it. He was actually disappointed to hear I'd thrown it away because he said, well, sometimes these things, take time to work. Like, a couple of weeks possibly before I'll really start noticing the effects. And I really didn't have a couple of weeks. Lose 4 pounds in a week, in 4 days, and, it was down to 128. No, I didn't have room to really lose any more weight. Not at all. It also helped to the extent that it was you could say a mood enhancer. It was certainly an antidepressant. Being told that you have cancer can be a very difficult emotionally, very difficult and trying kind of a thing. It's a very negative experience. I made the mistake of telling one of the oncologists, actually the one who gave me my diagnosis, told him that I was handling it all right. I admitted, of course, that when I told my mom that I did, I wept, but otherwise everything was going well. And that I wept when telling my mother that I had just gotten diagnosed with cancer. Because I told him that, he immediately wrote me a prescription for Prozac. How to tell a doctor, no doctor, I'm not suffering from depression. I'm a normal person who would react that way when telling your only surviving parent that she might have to bury her son. Unfortunately, she didn't. I'm kind of glad about that. Very glad about that. Parents should not have to bury their children.
Amen.
But that was the other thing. It was a mood enhancer, and that's one of the other things about. Generally, cancer treatment is very painful. It's very difficult, and for some patients, if their odds of surviving are not good. You have odds of surviving, and if you take the therapy, if you're very, very diligent in going to the doctors and following orders and doing what you're supposed to do, then you've got a chance. And and I actually had a good chance because the variety I have happens to be one that medical science has figured out how to treat. It's difficult treatment, but if you can survive the treatment, then you have a good chance of surviving everything. They warned me that one of the drugs, bleomycin, had 4 potential side effects: permanent hearing loss, permanent kidney damage, permanent pulmonary damage, or death. But aside from those side effects, I was strong enough to take it though, so they let me have the stuff. And it's very depressing, and I can understand the patients who, when they're faced with all this, there are patients who just say no more treatment. We're done now. It's they still have the cancer. They're not through the full course, but they can't continue because it's just killing them. And the depression and the anxiety can just all of it combines. It's despair. What it really is despair, and despair is not a treatable thing. But in a way, it was, because with cannabis, my mood was, I was very upbeat. I was able to be happy and to smile, and fortunately, as I say, I had a treatable thing. 75, even at the advanced state that I had reached, I had a 75% chance of survival, I suppose. I'm in remission, so I'm not done. So I still have a 75% chance of survival. But it's good odds. I think that's good odds. People who have much worse illnesses have described it, the AIDS patients who I know have described it very, very eloquently. One of them said, with marijuana, I'm not dying. I'm not dying from this disease. I'm living with it, and that's an important difference. People who haven't been there themselves or have never cared for someone may not be able to understand that one, but it's a serious difference. Living with something or dying from it, with your own mindset, if nothing else. And any cancer patient can tell you that attitude is a major part of it. People who fall victim to depression, people who are ready to give up, That's very difficult. And that depression and anxiety. Depression and anxiety we believe can make the condition worse. So it's important for cancer patients to get their mood up. It's very important for them to have that kind of relief.
The mood-altering properties of cannabis actually have that effect as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's mood-altering, mood-enhancing. It kept the despair away. Made the depression, lessened the depression, and made the despair go away. As important as the pain relief and the anti-nausea properties were, those others were really important too.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. Was it good that? Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.